Detroit is Different is where you get information, artistry, history, music, and even comedy. Detroit is Different, a home for the culture of Detroit. Visit online at DetroitisDifferent.com today.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back to the Detroit is Different podcast studios.
Yo.
And I have somebody that is definitely close to the incubator space.
Definitely.
My neighbor that was always wondering, like, what is going on in that Detroit is Different house?
What?
And as strange as it may be, and I shouldn't even say strange, right now with COVID-19, a lot of people are looking at opening up spaces and gardening. One of the things that my dad has been pushing, Greg Frazier has been pushing for, is saying, we need a garden, we need a garden, we need a garden. So in looking and placing the garden, my neighbor behind me was putting up everything in place for, like, okay, what's going on? And then I saw him looking at turning over some of the land that he has. And Miguel from Grand, right around the corner from Clements, is in full effect. Miguel, how you feeling?
I'm all right, Kay. What's happening, baby?
Man, everything is cool, man. I'm going to start this Detroit is Different interview how I usually start it. Though we share the plots and neighbors and in the neighborhood, let's start it with your family in Detroit. I always start from there. Your family, Detroit. What brought your family to Detroit? How long they been here?
Man, we've been here since 1978. I originally moved on Pasadena, 1938. Okay. Shout out to them, people around there. But my mom had some issues back home. I'm from the South, Mississippi, Moss Point.
Moss Point, Mississippi.
Point, Mississippi.
Where is that about at?
If you ever heard, well, all the casinos in Mississippi is in Biloxi.
Yeah, that's what I...
Yeah, we ride our bikes to Biloxi, to the beach. That's how close we are. Moss Point, Goche, Escataba, Biloxi. Okay.
So down there in Mississippi, what was like the culture, and are you guys still down there, or you all left?
Actually, I got some family down there, and I just got back from down there. But the culture, to me, that's why I'm jumping on your bandwagon with the gardens, because I come from that era. You know, where we still kill chickens. We still slaughter hogs, for real, man. Okay. We still plant watermelons and greens and collards. We live off of the land all year round down there. Yeah, wow. Real shit. Like the COVID didn't kill us on no meats or no vegetables. Okay. Because they slaughtering down there and they still eating good, so.
Okay. So with that, your mom made her way up this way.
Correct.
What brought her to the D?
Southern issues, you know, my father abusive, if I got to tell the truth, you know, she was just trying to get away, make a better way for us. And this where we end up at. We had family that was already had migrated up here, maybe 2 or 3 uncles. Okay. And they was inviting, like, y'all don't come up here. It's bigger, it's better, you can grow here. So this where we came.
How old were you at the time?
8.
Okay, so 8. What was Detroit 1970s, early 80s? What was that like for you coming from Mississippi? Because I know the Detroiters were probably like, oh, man, look at this Southern kid.
Scary as hell, dude. Scary, man. I had never seen no snow. I had never experienced that. My first experience with snow, man, I was just like, it started snowing. I was coming out of school. I'll never forget it. The shit started falling on me, man. I'm like, get it off, please, get it off, get it off. We had to jump in this shit, man. I had never experienced nothing like that. 4 or 5 feet of snow, you got to jump. We little, you can't even walk in it. You got to jump in it. But, yeah.
Okay, and about the time you said Pasadena, which is still like in
2
this
blocks over
neighborhood.
Yeah.
In this neighborhood, what was the neighborhood like as a kid back then?
Man, definitely different. I mean, definitely different. It was more kids. It was more community. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like now, let's just say the ice cream truck come down the street. And you got 5 kids at the ice cream truck. Everybody got $1, but it's 2 kids sitting on the porch. Back then, no kids was left out. I mean, even if it was, you know, come on, y'all you can't get $1 ice cream. You can get a 50-cent ice cream. Get the 2 for $1, but I'm going to look out for y'all. Now, man, people don't even really care.
Yeah. Now with that, I would say that the culture just from the 80s, because I was a kid over here in the 80s, it was a little bit different. Like you had Fred's that was right there on the corner.
Miss Booker's. You remember Miss Booker's on the corner of Pasadena and 12th?
Yeah, and it was like a lot of there were like little smaller shops.
Black shops.
and a lot more kids even then. Like we would play so much from top to bottom. And I think it was probably even more kids probably in your era than even in mine.
It was definitely. Definitely.
So that connection also gives the big celebration all the time, the Friends from Grand.
Friends for Life. Shout out to them. That's the name of a group. Another group from the area that constantly gives back. You know, they always, every year they had a big 3-day weekend. And a lot of those people that you see down here were the originals. When you talking about a lot of kids in the neighborhood, those are the kids. They just grown now.
Yeah, and that's what I hear, because those were the big kids when we were younger.
Exactly.
Doing big kid stuff.
Exactly.
That, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, don't ride your bike past near one of them, man.
Yeah, because they going to get you. For sure. For sure. I done had that happen, home. Man. Yes, take your bikes, all that. Didn't done that.
All right. So high school. Where did you go to high school?
I went to Central.
Okay, Central. A Trailblazer, which is the neighborhood.
Yes, sir.
Neighborhood high school. What was that like?
Different. Like I say, man, me coming from the country, you know, it's only lately, like in the last maybe 10, 12 years, I hide my accent. I used to be real country with it, you know, and then I was always teased about that in Central. But, you know, Central, it was I learned a lot. I learned a lot of cats, you know, as far as dealing with life and Detroit situations. Because I didn't know nothing. You know, when I went to Central, man, my mission was to go to school and come back home, bring my ass on the porch. Because I'm from the country. My mama didn't play that shit. Like, you go to school, come home, you back here on the porch. Yeah. But Central was good, man.
Now, I went to, as I'm wearing my Northwestern shirt. So they're like kindred spirits. Even though Central was America's first public high school, Northwestern soon
I didn't know that.
Came after. And the culture was of both schools are kind of like the same. Like I would say up to definitely up through the 40s, those were like all white. And then in the 50s, you started seeing some of the change. Towards the 60s, you started seeing a lot of the change. And by the 70s, it was definitely all black. Towards the 80s, some of those resources that existed for like the white school started transitioning into the black school. So I really do think that people that graduated from Central, I'd say like the 80s, that early 80s, and Northwestern and Northern and Murray Wright, all those schools were experiencing like a different school, not just with black students, but black teachers, less resources.
Definitely.
And it was during, as most people say, like, man, the crack cocaine epidemic was hitting across urban America and everything. But like it was a cultural shift in urban America, but definitely in Detroit. So Central in that time when you were graduating, I can only imagine was like kids were taking on like real life responsibilities, and you having a parent like that, how did you like balance a lot of that stuff out?
I didn't balance it. I was rebellious. You know, I didn't graduate. I was in the penitentiary at 18. My senior year, I was locked up. So, you know, it wasn't a balance for me. It was a direction. It was at that point in my life was when I had to figure out, you know, is this really where I want to go? Is this what I want to do? I'm 18, man. I'm in the penitentiary with guys 30 and 40 years old, 18. So at that point, it really, you know, I don't know. I can't really put it into words, but at that point in my life, I say I was lost.
Now, like many, those opportunities were existing, like in I think really a lot at that time in your generation, because what would have been your graduating class?
88.
So yeah, it was definitely like, I would say like if you graduated from like 84 to 92,
yeah,
like the streets was like,
the
damn,
teachers
right there.
The streets was the teachers.
Yeah.
You know, and then like I say, I come from that era where at that point in my life, my mom was still buying my shoes at the grocery store. Yeah. If I got to tell the truth. You know, I'm a real funny guy. You know, a lot of guys know me as being comical, and, you know, I had to do that to keep people from talking about me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they wearing dope man Nike shoes.
Yeah.
I got slide on McGregor's that we got at the front register at TJ's on Davidson. You remember that?
Yeah.
Landmark TJ's. So it's a whole different life for me. When I look at it, when I look back at it.
Okay. Now, as we look to that, locked up then, 18, and this is also like around the time 88. That puts you like you were on that like first cusp of what became like the whole war on drugs, mandatory sentencing,
all that.
A lot of this happened. It's a great documentary ESPN did, a 30 for 30 on Len Bias dying and how Len Bias's death. Len Bias, great basketball player that was drafted by the Boston Celtics, and soon after his draft by the Boston Celtics, he died of a cocaine overdose because he had, as they say, like straight fish scale cocaine, meaning like
pure
cocaine. And that story like kind of rippled through the nation on like a political lens, black side and white side. So like Jesse Jackson and Ronald Reagan were like walking line steps saying we need to do something about this.
Yeah.
And the something about this became like a lot of what became these mandatory drug sentencing laws, locking up children, and things were heading in that direction too. But to be 18 in the penitentiary,
oh man,
is
bad
thick.
Bad dude. Bad dude.
Where did you where were you serving your time?
Shit, where didn't I serve it? Jackson, Ionia, I went everywhere because at that point, man, like I said, once I got to that point in my life, jailing became the norm to me. Like living became the norm to some other people.
Yeah,
so it was different.
Okay. And also I would say like with your graduating class, that group of guys, like I say, the streets was, they always say the streets is hiring. You know what I'm saying?
All the time.
Yeah, the streets are always hiring.
All
like when
the
people
time.
say it's no jobs, it's like
they are. Even to this day in these terms.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So but dealing with it, especially as young people, we always right now looking at police brutality and what we should do, and people saying defund the police, but that's always a discussion. Like if more resources existed, people would not choose those options, or not as many people would choose those options, because some people still would, but it wouldn't be so much abundance. Like if the summer job program extended to a year-round job program,
exactly,
then the option of being a Crip
or blood
or whatever
guy or DLA Dexter guy, however you want to put it, would be optional.
It's not you
have an option.
You may still be like run with those guys from time to time, but it's like working. I want to get back to my job.
I got to go to work.
Yeah,
I mean, even when those times like now, a lot of the cats that I grew up with, they still street guys. Yeah, and I'm from the area. I don't knock your hustle. We still friends. At the end of the day, that's what you do, and I'm doing what I do. So, to me personally, nothing has really changed. You know? My theory behind all this shit, in order for it to work, is somebody got to lead in order for somebody to follow. Your boy, the dope guy, Big Meech. If you got a robbing ass boss, you're gonna have a robbing ass crew. Yeah. If you got a working ass boss, you're gonna have a working ass crew. So, in order to have good endings, you must have good beginnings, and that start with leadership, man. And
I also think that your generation prefaced street life for guys in my generation. Even though I grew up, like I have like a line in one of my rap songs, I grew up like the Cosbys. Grew up like the Cosbys around broken homes. Like my dad, my mom, my dad being an entrepreneur, my mom being here, my grandma being next door. Like it was just rare to have a present father that had like a basis of like black consciousness, and mom that embraced that, and stayed working as a professional right here in the hood. But with it, I still saw the realities with like Big James, Junebug, and like a lot of the other guys here, the Twins, and just my neighborhood. And it was like a context for street life. As much as I love hip hop, it's like rap doesn't go into the nuances in the relationships between first who drug users are, drug dealers are, the culture of community that exists in street life connected to regular life. Because I mean, in that same zone, I think a lot of that street life at one point in time was like the numbers, man. So like we had like queen pins in our neighborhood, like the Deemers and things like that. They make it seem, sometimes I feel like it's a disservice to neighborhoods like mine, because they make it seem as though like it's just ruthlessness and it's no consideration, no love. It's a lot of it's still a context for it. It's still it's like a family dynamic that exists if you're doing something positive. Like the first thing most people say when they walk in my house is like, damn, you over here with all this equipment? And I'm like, but people kind of know it's like, that's the nerdy dude up the block. He doing something cool. We don't really bother him, you know?
And then you stay to yourself.
And that's the other thing.
You're not a corner guy. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people, you put yourself in situations. You know, if you were that guy, even being the nerdy guy you claim to be, if you were the nerdy guy standing on the corner every day, oh, I promise you will have a porch full of guys at night. You know, because everybody want to be with somebody that's doing something. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You down there, you tell them, I'm doing a podcast. They're not going to come down here until it get late night. You know, nobody wants to do. If I told them, hey, man, y'all know that guy be doing podcasts, man, y'all should go over there and tell your story. Man, fuck him. I ain't fucking with him, man. That nigga been over there all these years. He ain't even spoke to me. You know what I'm saying? But if you put yourself in that situation, you'll have that. You know, even with me, a lot of cats, you know, being the person and where I come from, who hung out with a lot of guys. You see me now to this day, I've learned that lesson. I'm riding by myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how to me, when I met you, when I said, what is Detroit different? I swear to God, I thought y'all was passing out handbills, man. Hilarious. I swear to God, I thought y'all was passing out handbills. Like them guys just riding around, passing out flyers and shit all day. But man, hey, hats off to you.
Thank you. And I think you said it best. Like if you do the work and you stick to something that's productive, I mean, it naturally will be something. I've been surprised to find some of the support that I've gotten from people I never would expect in this neighborhood that is just like, he's to himself, he stay cool, and he respect the boundaries of everything, even though other dynamics exist for other people. And then also, I've been very surprised sometimes to find like the people that have run into some challenges over here, but then when I get the backstory, it's like, that's a context for
exactly
why something like that happened to you. Not justifying it, but you're going to get a response.
Exactly.
Like a lot of the white people I know, when they move into like Highland Park or neighborhoods like mine and moving back into the city, I'm like, you know, you have to respect the boundaries of some of these relationships. You know, the minute that you're just the white guy that's a neighbor is different than like when you walk up to the guy and say, hey, can I buy some weed? It's like, okay, the minute you cop from that guy on the porch,
he your friend.
You've just changed the whole dynamics of the relationship.
Exactly.
Because now the context of how we judge people, it's not just who you are. It's like, I don't know that white guy, but I do know, let's say, TJ, right? I don't like TJ's character. He kind of a shiesty dude. TJ owe me some money. That white guy know TJ. That white guy has now become an accomplice in me getting my money back from TJ.
Exactly.
Which, when I explain this, it's like a different culture, because I'm like, I don't know suburban culture. I don't know what it's like to live in a cul-de-sac. I don't know what that's like when you start associating with the neighborhood, you know, the neighborhood association, where like, you know, if you don't put up Christmas lights, they gonna send you a $500 fine from the city. Wow. And the cops gonna come and like, but that's their neighborhoods. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Whereas our neighborhoods, we have a different culture over here. So within that, you own a lot of properties and allow rental. So that's been one of the gateways of sustaining business. What led you into ownership?
An accident. Tell no stories. Back in the days, you know, I'm a street guy. I'm standing on the corner. It's cold outside. I'm making enough money to rent a house, but I'm saying to myself, why would I rent this house when they only want $4,000 for it? I can make $4,000, but I take $4,000. I go buy, you know, a gold chain, a $300 pair of jeans, and some shoes. I'm fresh to death, but I'm still standing out here in this motherfucking cold.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the house. Once I bought the house, the hustle died down. So now I'm stuck with no hustle and a house. I'm getting $500 a day. I can get $650 a month. But if I can get $650 a month times 30, I'm still hustling. And then I do all my own work. You know, I do my own landscaping, I do my own plumbing, my own electrical, my own framing. I do all that. I don't outsource nothing. I stay busy every day, but that's what led me to it. And then as I grow, I hear people saying, well, my dad left me. You just said it. My parents left me this home. I'm going to die a street guy, and I can't leave my kids nothing? Come on, man. I want to at least leave them something. That's like building a legacy. You know, my dad left us these 6 houses. My brother got 2. My other brother got 2. I got 2. We have something. So that's what really made me get into it. And then once I got into it, I found out the shit was lucrative. It's a guaranteed payday.
Now, when you talk about the guaranteed payday, and from it, this housing market, especially depending upon like the past, I would say 30 years in Detroit, it's some great homes here that you can get.
For low.
Yes.
For the low. I'm telling you, man, that house that you talk about to me around the corner, right behind your house, I hate to tell people, I paid $500 for the house. $1,278 with the house and the taxes. I bought 2 lots on each side for $100. I'm still under $2,000. My grandmother paid $60,000 for her first home. $60,000, man. I got 5, 6 homes. You see what I'm saying? It was a no-brainer to me. Even now, with me buying a house for $500, let's say $1,500 tops, I can walk away today with a 30 ball. And 2 lots, another 50. I can make 50 off of that, off of my simple investment. I don't have to work no more. I can ride by and collect rent every month.
Now, with this being said, like learning all these lessons, what was like the teachable lesson? Because so many of these conversations come where it's like, these are options, these are opportunities. Historically in America, as we know, even through the GI Bill, one of the key gateways to wealth was property ownership. Because you can even lend against your house, which has been sometimes a challenge for our people.
For us, yes.
But it still becomes an asset that appreciates in value, usually.
Exactly. Oh, it definitely appreciates.
Who taught you all of these lessons, especially being that you were locked up at such an early age, and then you come back and like who are you framing this lesson from? You said you kind of learned from the like, let me get this house, from being in the cold. How did you learn along the way your business model?
Just as a kid, I always figured it out like, if I'm 10 and you 10, you don't know no more than me. So I'm going to fuck with the 15-year-old. I'm going to fuck with the 18-year-old or the 25-year-old. Even now, the guys that I deal with, I'm the youngest guy on my squad. I'll be 50 this year.
Wow.
The guys I deal with, man, they're in their 60s and their 70s. And they the ones that's telling me back then, like, hey, man, fuck that shit. Go and get you a house, man. You can make you some money. You can live on it. I'll show you the game. You can buy this house. You can go to the bank. You can get a home improvement loan. If you spend 10, you can get a home improvement loan for 20, get your first 10 back and reinvest the 10 and let the house pay the loan back.
Wow.
That made a lot of sense to me. I'm going to take their money and get all my money back. And at the end of the day, I'm going to still make money for the rest of my life.
Now, you didn't have the fears, because some of this dealing with banking being black sometimes is just a fearful situation anyway, but especially being with banking, being a return citizen, being black, like you didn't have the fear to go in and move forward with this process?
Okay, I finance all my own. I've never dealt with a bank on nothing.
Wow.
I've never had a car note. My wife and I just got our first house. All my houses I pay cash for.
Wow.
So I don't even deal with banks. My wife will tell you, I hate the bank. It doesn't make any sense for me to put my money into this entity, and then when I need $1,000, I got to go to the bank at 11 o'clock to get $500. Y'all charge me $250, and I got to come back at 12:01 to get another $500. It's my money. Why? You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't deal with banks. If I can finance my own, I owe no one.
And the business model you talking about now is, as they say, like, it's definitely COVID-19 proof. And you've just learned this wisdom from the people, the OGs that you met.
That's it. That's all I deal with, man. That's all I deal with. And then, like I say, I'm not saying that's all I deal with. You younger than me. I can judge people's character when I first met you, I'm like, man, this cool dude, man. He ain't, you know, when you first meet a guy, you got your hands up like, I don't know about this guy. You know, I see him, he don't never say nothing. But when you address yourself, I deal with younger cats, but it's benefits. It got to be benefits in me fucking with you. You know, that's just my life motto. Nobody wants to fuck with me unless it's a benefit. If you know you can come to me and borrow $10, you'll fuck with me.
Yeah.
If you come to me and you say, Miguel, can I borrow 10? I'm like, man, get the fuck on. I ain't got no money. You're not coming back, and guess what? You don't even want to fucking with that nigga. He only want to loan me $10. He done got all that money you want. No. You know, I deal with people with benefits. You know, it don't make no sense for me. If you hadn't had this podcast and our conversation was strictly about the garden, that would have been our conversation every time I seen you. Now when I see you, hey, K, what's up? What's on the floor? You know, what you got going on? Because I fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy for me to do that. I'm a realist. If you don't like me, you don't have to. I'm going to tell you what I mean and how I feel, and you just have to deal with that. You know? But as far as me dealing with having the success that I have in life, I take my hats off to the old guys.
Yeah, wow.
You know, that's why when you see me, I'm working. I'm going to go get one of these young guys. Come on. I know you ain't did $50 worth of work, but I'm going to pay you $50 because I want you to understand if you work, you will get paid. And sometimes your benefits are greater. You can do less work and make more money.
Now, as you talk about the work, the skilled trades, how did you pick up like the skilled trades of the plumbing and the carpentry and all of that?
This is my second marriage. I left my second wife. My first wife, her grandfather was a master carpenter.
Wow.
Everything I learned, I take my hats off to this old guy. I still go by and see him every day and pay homage to him because I seen them making the money. I'm fresh out the penitentiary. And I'm telling them like, you know, I really don't want to hustle. I can't get the hustle. I ain't got the money. Her granddad like, fuck it. Come on. You can work with me, boy. You strong motherfucker. You can come help pour this concrete. You can come frame this house.
Wow.
I learned all that shit. I couldn't even tell you how to read a tape measure till I met this guy. I couldn't tell you how to mix concrete. I couldn't tell you shit about framing, roofing. I do all that shit myself, simply from hands-on with that old guy. I never took a skilled trades class, ever.
Now, when you say you learned from her father, and this is
her grandfather actually, but
you learned from her grandfather. This is like deep because this kind of goes back more into what I think our culture and African people have. It's like, I guess it'd be labeled like an apprenticeship program.
Exactly.
But it's a different type of apprenticeship program when it's like, okay, if I teach you this trade, it's actually going to go back into my grandchildren and my family. Like,
and that's what
it's different than like if you work like, you know, you schedule everything and this is the apprentice I have and they'll be here from 9 to 5 and then you go home. It's like, no, I'm going to see you Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I know that if you learn this skill, it's going to put, I no longer have to give money to help pay your rent. You know?
Exactly. And that's how I took that, because I'm telling you, man, it was a true blessing dealing with that old guy. I was working with my uncle, man, cutting grass. This motherfucker paying me $35, $40 a day. I'm out there from sun up to sundown.
Yeah.
I can't take it. I'm so used to getting easy money, man. This hard as fuck. I'm out here. I've been sweating in this shit all day. I got $60.
Yeah.
Old guy like, fuck that. Come on, you can work with me. I give you $400 in 2 days.
Wow.
$400. I don't know nothing about no motherfucking concrete. I don't know nothing about framing no house. I'm going to show you. Come on. You going to show me and you going to pay me? I'm working with you. Fuck the grass. But if you can tell, I cut the shit out some grass too. Yeah. All my lessons have been learning lessons. My life lessons, I've learned from them, you know?
Now getting out of the penitentiary, how old were you when you got out?
Which time?
Okay.
Because I'm telling you, man, I got a C prefix, 215 341C. If anybody know what that mean, man, the alphabet at the end of the number is how many times you've been incarcerated.
Okay.
And it took me 3 times.
Okay, and it can be like that.
My last trip, man, I came home, I think I was probably about 24, 25.
Okay.
But
so 24, 25, and I know this is really sticking to your mind and your ribs of like, I need to transition. What was it that gave you what was it you think the catalyst to say, all right, I need to pick up something completely different. I need to go a different route.
Like I say, man, I'm a self-centered person. Everything I do, I run it by self before I even address anybody else. I mean, I don't know if you can catch that, but when I came home from the penitentiary, these guys that I went to jail before, when I come home on my second trip, you motherfuckers still doing the same shit. Y'all still standing on the corner selling nickel rocks. You bitches ain't even graduated from nickels to dimes yet. So when I come home the third time, I tell them like, yo, y'all my guys, I love y'all, but I'm going this other way. I don't know if I told you, but I got a snowball business. Thriving. When I came home, man, I was sitting at the table. I'm a vision. I write it down. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to write it down so I can go back and verify it. These guys laughed at me, man. Like, motherfucker, you know that ain't you. You a street nigga. You ain't finna be out here selling bullshit. I make a great living. I make more money on my motherfucking truck than some of these guys work 12 months. And I don't work but 5 months out the year on that truck. So that's what motivated me. Like, I didn't have no father. My mom was disabled. So, you know, like I said, I always wanted to better myself. And I don't know if you said it as a kid. I'm not never living like this. When I get grown, I'm buying my shoes from the mall. I'm not buying them from the grocery store. And then, like I said, it just took a time to figure it out. Like, I don't want to go back to the penitentiary. If I go back, the judge had already told me, you classified habitual. It won't be no more slap on the wrist, no more 2.5, no more 5s, no more 3s. No, I'm going to sit you down for 10. That was in 2000. I'm in 1996. I ain't been back yet.
Wow.
Well, I haven't been back. I'm not going back. How that sound?
I feel that. I feel that. Now with this, with that attitude shift, and that's a powerful attitude shift, and embracing that. And I want to say that because the other dynamics of it, like just going to Northwestern, growing up over here, like street life sometimes becomes like a culture. Like you almost get addicted to the.
It's not almost. You do.
The you know, the fast life, like your wife was saying, but even more so than the fast life, the commonalities. Like, you know, these are the people I know. This is your like social circle. So it's one of those things.
You are the company you keep, as Muddy say.
Yeah.
If you around it, you're gonna be it.
Yeah, like a lot of the users I know, like some of it moves from getting high to the ritual of it. Like they like figuring out like, okay, can I beat this guy out of this so I can get higher, or, you know, going over here and venturing over here. Like it's transitions where, like you say, the company you keep, you almost have to shift and go into a whole new world.
You do. Not almost, you do. You have to change it, man. You know, in order to be different, you have to make it different. You know, I can't come home and still be fucking with the same guys doing the same thing, because eventually I'm going to be doing the same thing. Yeah. And I know the outcome of that. You know, I done already experienced jail, and death is not nothing I'm willing to experience. So I had to make another decision. Like, this is nothing I'm going to do. I got 3 boys whom I love to death, and I would never want them to have to experience none of the shit I went through. Yeah. You know, and that's another reason. Like, you hear me, all these people around here, they know me. I fuck with all the young kids. Yeah. You know, if I'm that motherfucker, if I see you in the street, damn your mama, damn your daddy, you little motherfucker, you wrong. Get your ass out of here, go over here, and when your mama come home and tell him, hey, had you been out here watching your child, I wouldn't have had to say that to him. But you need to know, I'll take my belt off, I'll whoop his ass too. That's just me. Yeah. You know, I don't mean no harm. I'm not trying to be Superman or nothing, but I was raised like that. Nigga, I used to get 2, 3 ass whoopings for the same shit. For real, man. Like, you in the street riding the bike, I'm whooping your ass. I'm telling your mama when you get home. Your mama come home, she whoop your ass. She in there talking to daddy. Yeah, the little motherfucker was in the street today. What? A 3rd ass whooping. So I just like that. That's why I believe like in empowering the young. Somebody got to teach them, man. You can't expect a child to do different when he don't know nothing. Half of the kids having kids now 18, 19 years old. And they mother, they come from the crack era. So they crack babies. They don't know shit. How can a child raise a child that don't know nothing? Now,
and that's the other shift I was going to talk about. As you say, leaving a legacy. When did you begin your family? When would you have your first child?
1992.
Okay. 92. So in that, like in growing, I know that this becomes like, okay, I want to, you know, the mind shifts in growing your own family, and moving forward with family, seeing that transition. I know the rest of your family has to look at like, okay, as you come back home, you're buying property, you're learning this, you're learning that. It's also an impression on nephews, nieces, cousins. You know, it could be even your siblings and older family. What impact did that just have on your family as they saw you venture into other businesses and become successful at it?
It just, like I say, somebody has to lead in order for somebody to follow. Nobody believed in the snowballs until I started it. Now, my kids, they done bought trucks. For real. They see it. Like they working for me and I'm paying them $50, $60 a day, but I'm marking on my books $800, $900. Like, damn, Dad, why I'm only getting $50, $60? Because nigga, I'm the owner and you the worker. Get your own truck, you can pay somebody. Even with houses, my kids buying property now. You know what I'm saying? Because I've told them, like, dude, you can get out here in the streets. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life, but I promise you, it's a dead end when you get out there. You have to have something to fall back on. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't want to work, you can work for yourself. Entrepreneur, however you want to label it, self-employment. It works. And it's all in your lifestyle. Like I'm telling them, you know, I know you want the $500 jeans, but dude, go to Sam's Club. Get the $25 Levi's. Wait till you know, my age, 50 or 60, when you settled in life and you can afford to do shit like that. My house is paid for. Me and my wife's house would be paid for what? 2 more years? Another 16 months?
Yeah.
Nothing owed on it. After that, man, it's a free trip.
Yeah, and you stick to like the concept that we always say in business. You know, as I went to Walsh College, and it's a lot of financial and business concepts, but people understand it. And sometimes I believe the goal in business. One of my classic economic teachers, Padilla, shout out to Padilla. I was like, you know, I don't like a lot of this finance stuff in economics because they use a lot of jargon just to confuse people. He's like, yeah, that's the goal. But unsecured debt, meaning that you have debt looming over you and people are in so many homes where it's like, yeah, on paper you own that home, but you still are paying back the mortgage. You're paying back a banking institution that can sell it. You're also paying your taxes on it. You probably got student loans as well. You may be looming with debt that holds you down, that cripples the decisions you make, versus if you're buying things straight cash, you have more freedom and autonomy to make whatever business decision that you want to make.
And I don't have to wait on nobody to help me with a decision neither. If I decide I want to sell strawberry today and I don't want to sell blueberry, I don't have to go to the board and sit down with them. Hey, guys, what do y'all think about changing strawberry off of blueberry? I learned that a long time ago. I tell people, man, being in the streets, some of the dope dealers and the guys, they are the best businessmen, man. When you look at it, the streets teach you. You just have to value the lesson. You know, I wouldn't have never knew about taking my money and going back to reinvest. They call it recopping. Yeah. In the business where they call it reinvesting. Yeah. You know, if I hadn't learned that shit from the streets, I wouldn't have been able to put that into my business.
Well, the difference, I think, and I have a marketing firm, as strange as it is, the difference with any street business or anything illegal is the arm's length transaction. And more, you have to be a great judge of character, but that's where the sales is where business happens. It's a old phrase that everybody says, like, you know, dope sells itself. And it's like, no, dope doesn't sell itself.
It doesn't.
You still need to have a network.
Yeah.
And even more because, I mean, you can incriminate yourself.
Yeah, and then it's competition. It's
competition. And then depending upon the drug you selling, the relationship, it's more pressure but you learn a lot of business lessons because it is straight sales.
Hey, the streets is business.
It's very
just
much so.
Illegal business.
Exactly.
You know, that's what they say. You know, streets is business, but it's just illegal business.
But you learn so many other lessons and you have less headaches. Shout out to my grandfather, Don Scott, that served time himself and always said the best dollar is a clean dollar because you don't have the headache of incrimination on top of all the regular business headaches because you still have the business relationship headaches. You still have the customers not being happy headaches. You still have the, retaining customers, which that's what I look to do with my marketing firm most times, which is always a tougher thing to sell. I'm like, people spend so much money trying to get new customers in business. I'm like, it's always about customer retention because it's always, I believe, and this is where street guys know best. It's easier to get the person you have it's like working them to buy more is easier than to get the new customer
to buy one.
Exactly, because the new customer, you're probably spending $5, like they'll say, to get that person.
Yeah, you got to give
Whereas
it to them.
the retained customer, if you just spend like $1.50, you can probably get them to buy more. The relationship already exists.
Exactly.
And that expands your word of mouth, which is always the best marketing
That's
tool.
the best marketing tool.
But it is one of those things where you really need to think about. And a lot of people jump into business, and the first thing they're thinking is like I always say, it's people in business to get your money. And the last thing you got to be in business for is to keep other people in business.
Exactly.
So you have to make a profit. You have to have your strategy in order and rethink it. And during COVID-19, a lot of your business model is even one of those things that can be impacted. How have you dealt with renters right now facing tougher circumstances with cash flow and
I've been fair. I didn't during the epidemic. All my tenants paid.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they might have been short, and then I won't say they short because let's say if your rent $650,
yeah,
and you come to me and you like, hey, Mr. Miguel, I got your rent money, but it's gonna be a little late. Well, what do you got now? Well, I got $500. I'll tell you what, give me the $500.
Mm-hmm.
Take that $150, put it on your light and gas bill, and you don't owe me anything.
Now this type of relationship, as we always say, the key in most relationships, it's communication.
Exactly.
And having that relationship with your tenants in neighborhoods like this, I'm sure they appreciate you a whole lot more because a lot of tenants, well, I think a lot of landlords hide behind these systems instead of really building true relationships with their tenants. Why have you approached business actually having relationships with tenants as opposed to like using the systems like, you know, property management companies and firms and law firms to interact with people?
I like control.
Mm-hmm.
If I let them in, I have no control. I want total control. If I deal with a property management, first of all, my rent only $650. I deal with a property management, my rent just went to $550 because I got to pay them a monthly service.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and all my tenants, I want to say I stole them. Real shit. Because a lot of people, Miguel, you ain't got no house, No, not right now. But I might have a house available. I'm going to follow you. I'm going to see where you stay. I'm going to see how you live. Like some of my tenants in my property I just rented down here, they didn't have a porch. They stayed in an apartment. They lived behind a fucking railroad. So at 4 o'clock every morning, they had to get up because the train was coming through.
Wow.
But they paid their rent.
Mm-hmm.
And they was paying like $800 for an apartment with no porch. I tell them, look, you come over here to my house, I'm gonna charge you $650. Well, I gotta get a refrigerator. No, all my properties come with refrigerators and stoves. Some of them even come with washers and dryers. So with giving them more than what they had and charging them less, I guarantee you they're not going nowhere. Nowhere.
You just gave another key insight to good business, and that's actually doing what where I think I learned the marketing research.
Yeah,
learning who your potential client is before they become a client, as opposed to, as they say, counting out the dollars up front.
Yeah, I told you I come from a street area, and just like with that come from where if I want to go on Dexter and set up shop, I'm just not gonna go on Dexter today and set up shop. I'm going to ride my bike over on Dexter. I'm going to sit over there 30, 40 minutes. I'm going to see what they doing. I'm going to see where they at. Okay, they sitting down here on this corner. This corner down here dead. I'm going to go down here and get the dead end people and stop them from having to come way up the street. Just like my tenants. I'm going to go find you where you fucked up at. And I'm going to bring you to a better situation. And once you make it better, you got room to grow. All my tenants, I promise you, when they get in my house, they get cars. Why? Because you were paying $9. My nephew stay in my house. He was paying $1,100. In an apartment in Westland. This my nephew. I charge him $550 for a 3-bedroom house. I'm actually giving it to him. But at the same time, I'm telling him, like, nephew, you was paying $1,100. Keep that $1,100 mentality. Put $550 up. And in 24 months, I'll show you how to buy your own house, and you don't have to give me that $550 no more. So it's simple to me. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say, like, hats off to you, man. All this shit in here, it wasn't free.
No.
You didn't buy it yesterday.
No.
You didn't buy it the day before that.
No.
You bought a mic today. You went next week. You bought another mic. It takes time,
It's
man.
a process, yeah.
There you go.
It's a process.
At the end of the day, that's how you have to look at it. You know, even with the buying the properties or whatever your life mission is, it's a process. Nothing's going to happen overnight. How bad you want it. If you want it, man, my wife will tell you, when we first started this ice cream truck, dude, I was ready to throw the fucking towel in, man. I done spent $20,000, $30,000 in this shit. And we out here on this hot-ass truck, burning the fuck up, and only made $75 today. And I ain't gonna tell no lie, I wasn't hustling, but I smoked weed. So me and my wife on the truck, I'm like, hey, baby, we made enough money back there? Can we ride by the weed house and get us some weed? I'm some real shit. You know, I'm a realist. I ain't gonna bullshit you, but like I say, it took time, growth. I don't even want to tell you now, man. My days is $500-$600 days. You know, from 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. Now, as you talk about like even seeing those visions and then having more business acumen to go into more business, as that's also one of the things that people speak to, like having the tenacity to try new ventures and to get into new ventures.
I'm with that.
What has been your approach to looking at new business, exploring new business? Because it's still the opportunity in business. You're rolling the dice. It could work. It cannot work.
Hey, everything will work. I promise you, man. Everything will work. It's just the area where you at. A lot of the shit, like with I love my snowballs. We just was down south. How long ago was that when we went and they had those seafood bags? Before it even got up here to Detroit, I'm telling my wife, like, look, yo, we need to get that fucking machine. We could kill them. I got the hookup on the shrimps. I got the hookups on the crab legs. I'm from the south. I get a freezer truck. We bring our own shit up here. We can start it. Here we go. A year later, somebody didn't beat us to it, and they killing it. But that's how you get a lot of business advice. Like, I travel. So when I go out of town, I'm not going out of town. I'm going out of town to enjoy myself, but I'm also going out of town to see what they offering. What's different here than it is at home? You know, when I'm going home every year, snowballs, I've never heard, they call them Sno-Cones up here. It ain't shit but dried ice with color in it. So if I go down there, like in Atlanta, they don't have a Coney Island. I can open up a Coney Island in Atlanta, I get fucking rich. You know, so it's just all about, when you think about trying shit different, you have to research it. And anything will sell as long as it's new. Jordans, motherfuckers stand in line for Jordans.
Yeah.
Because they brand new. Everybody want to be the first one with it. So if you can keep that concept into business, and you can't open up a car wash down the street from Ray Ray's car wash. Yeah. Because Ray Ray got a car wash and he been there for 10 years. Yeah, you got bigger lights. You got 2 stalls at your door. Ray Ray only got 1 stall and a floodlight. But he been there 10 years. Everybody know Ray Ray work. You got to damn near get your car wash away for $2. There go the money. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So it all just depends on what you offering. Everything will sell. You just need to be the first to sell it.
Now, within that same venture, I like that you said going to different places and traveling and looking beyond just trying to entertain yourself. Yeah. Because that's how I think a lot of people look at travel. No. What are some of the things, and what are some of the key things you're looking for when you go to any city to say, okay, this is how people are functioning. This is how people are spending money. How do you look?
Anything different. And you said it, where they spending money. Anything different. I have no problems with trying. I sell a motherfucker seashells if they buying seashells here. And they not, if they wasn't already buying them here and I think it's a market for it, yeah, I try it. And I stay with it if I can see it. Like I say, I put it on paper. I watch it. And I invest. When I go out of town, I'm not going out of town to, ball out of control. No, what the fuck is they doing here in Vegas? Or what are they doing over here in Dominican? You know, they didn't even have fucking phones when we went to Dominican Republic. I got a friend invested in fucking telecommunications. He one of the first motherfuckers to put phones over there.
He's one of the developers of WhatsApp.
Exactly. You heard of WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Yeah, he one of the developers of that.
So when you, as you travel, also, you're going to run into other people that see the success in your business, and you also get offers. And this is one of the things that I say when we talk about businesses continuing and white supremacy continuing, but it's just one of those things that like money begets other money, because you're going to get a lot of other offers. When people know you have the resource of capital, you're going to get probably get approached for business ideas all the time.
All the fucking time.
And how do you judge what that is?
I don't. Your business venture is your business venture. What you see is what you see. You can come tell me your vision. I might not never see it. I can assist you and give you advice. This shirt I got on, shout out to my man Mel, Red Pelican. He designed his own clothing wear. To get different, you have to give people something that they can't get. You know, like with his shirts, he put Red Pelican on it. You need to give them something different. Put on that bitch, how high do a pelican fly? You know, what the fuck that mean? You come up with your own concept of that. How high do a pelican fly to me might mean, hell, I ain't never seen no pelican fly. You come up with your own concept with that. But even with you, with the flower beds. You out there thinking like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
What I tell you? Hey man, look, do competition boxes.
Yeah.
You know, I'm great at shit like that.
Mhm.
All my partners that's in business, they always come to me for advice. And I'm comical. I'm gonna be funny with it. But it's gonna be real. Like with you, hey man, fuck that. Pay competition, make them pay. What you say? Oh man, that's a great fucking idea.
Yeah.
And then it gets more people involved. You know, so when you have your idea might not be my idea, but I can better your idea for you.
Okay.
I'm always with that. I might not invest in it financially, but I put some time in it for you.
Yeah.
You know?
But that's also knowing different resources, because as much as capital may seem like the greatest resource, strategy can be a greater resource.
It's definitely.
Because it can save you time and money, which are the two biggest assets that you're going to spend, especially if you're going in the wrong direction.
Yes, sir. I agree with you 100%.
So as we get kind of to a close, I'm going to end with like the classic Detroit is Different questions. The classic Detroit is Different questions are first, your very first car, year, make, and model, and year you got it.
I got that motherfucker in 1987. I was 17 years old. It was a fucking Dodge Colt Rally Sport, bumblebee yellow and black interior.
Okay. All right. Where was the first place you went when you got it?
Shit, to the car wash, believe it or not. With no plates.
Oh, you were definitely rolling the dice.
You know how it was when you young. Fuck it, I got a car, I don't need no place. I got the keys to this bitch. I'm riding. Even kids now, that's what they do, man.
Oh man, that's that boy. You welcome it. You taking some chances.
Man, I don't tell no lies though. Yeah, that was the first car I had. Dodge Colt Rally Sport.
Okay. Cool. What ended it? How long did you keep it?
Probably not long. Maybe a year.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe a year.
How did it last through winter?
Shit. It was my first car, so it lasted through winter. It had a lot of dents, a lot of fucking dings on it, but yeah, it lasted through a winter.
Okay, because that's the number one thing, especially like in Detroit. If you can get a car through winter,
you got a car. You got a car. That motherfucker make it through the winter. You got a car. With the snow, the potholes, heat. Yeah, you got a car.
Yeah, especially over this way. It's sometimes like I talked to the lady with the city. I'm like, we so sick of these the water main breaks over here. It's almost like ice skating sometimes.
It is, dude. Whole blocks and shit infected by that.
Yeah. And you got to know your neighborhood.
Yeah, you better. And how to get around it. You better know what alley work and which one don't work. You better know which one concrete and which one gravel.
Yeah, true indeed. Second question. You the DJ at, and God knows when it's gonna happen again, at the Detroit fireworks. Your wife get to jump on this. You get to play 3 songs. Woodward and Jefferson. What 3 songs you playing?
All my songs gonna be by Jay-Z.
Okay.
All of them. Can't Knock the Hustle. Me and my girlfriend. I love Jay-Z, man.
Okay. And then that's 2. What's the last one?
Big Pimpin'.
Okay.
Spinning Cheese.
All right. I'm with it. And last question. If you could rename Woodward after one Detroiter, who would it be and why?
That's deep. One street from anybody in Detroit?
Anybody.
I would name it Sammy Lee Amos Boulevard.
Okay. Who's Sammy Lee Amos?
That's the old guy who taught me everything I know.
Wow.
Ride.
Deep.
My motto for that street would be ride here to success.
But tell him how determined Sammy Lee was. How old is he when he went back to school and taught him how to read?
He was like in his 60s, man. He couldn't read. Read the shit out of a tape measure. Taught me everything I know, but he couldn't read. And number 2, that's why he fucked with me, because I'm a people person. He was doing jobs for $250. And I'm telling him, like, come on, Sam, these motherfuckers will pay us $700. Well, boy, write the receipt up. You know I can't read. Write it up for me and make it happen. So
almost like in his wisdom and his trust, you were able to encourage him in business.
Exactly. And he went back to school. He can read now. True story.
That's deep.
That's very deep.
That's deep. And it also goes to like when people say like these people are illiterate, like the intelligence of a person that maybe labeled, and that's sometimes like even the label of illiteracy can become tough and shackling. But what you learn and what you can remember and how you know streets, how you know directions, how you know, like you said, carpentry, roofing, like almost like eyeballing, as they would say, like almost like just muscle memory. One of my favorite singers, and I know you got to know him because you're from Mississippi, Bobby Bland couldn't read.
Oh yeah.
But he would remember he would almost have to like visualize and remember all the notes in the songs. And Bobby Bland concert, I mean, he may do, he was dropping like 2 albums a year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he's remembering the notes, playing with players. I love blues. So it's like he would play with new players damn near from city to city. It'd be like, I keep one music director to save money, and it'd be Bobby. So he knew the notes and he knew the spaces. Another one that's smart like that, James Brown. All types of businesses too. And knowing it, but still being so intelligent of like memory.
Exactly.
And exercising that memory so much. It's deep. It's
very deep. Very, very deep.
So thank you so much. I don't know how people, if people want to reach out, get in contact with your business, how should they go about it?
Leroy Sno-Hut. It's we on Facebook, we on Instagram. As a matter of fact, I might be needing you because I need a web page. That's my next step in life.
What's up.
To take it to the next step. Everything that I've been trying to do with that, I need a web page.
Okay.
So that's the Leroy Sno-Hut. That's LERY.
ROY.
No, it's got to have an S, 2 S's. Leroy's, no space in it. SNO. It's not SNOW. Hut, HUT.
Okay.
And you'll see a picture of the truck on the page. But yeah, we ain't worked this year neither. I haven't even fired it up due to the COVID. So that's why I want to build this page. I'm actually shooting for a stationary storefront. That's my end game for it. Mm-hmm. So.
Well, definitely, we want to see it happen, and I'm sure, with your attitude and tenacity, you're gonna knock it out the park.
I'm trying to, man. I'm at the plate now. I'm waiting on them to throw the pitch.
Respect.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Miguel.
I appreciate you, Kay, as always, man.
All right, peace.
Yes, sir.
Detroit is Different is where you get information, artistry, history, music, and even comedy. Detroit is Different, a home for the culture of Detroit. Visit online at DetroitisDifferent.com today.